Welcome back to the Forensics Unplugged, sister channel to Forensic Detailing channel. You get the idea. I'm about midway through the citrus test. We know, John, just get on with it. Give us the main results. Well, by the time this one comes out, the main results will already been done. But this channel is kind of like a behind the scenes kind of thing. This is what it should be, nice, quick and easy. And I'm midway through, and I'm going to go through everything I've learned so far with these products. So I've done my dirt simulator tests, one at 5% PIR, so they're all the same concentration, and one at recommended usage ratio, and I've made a note of that, which says massive variance. Some of them you use neat. Which one is it? Auto Finesse, you use that 1 to 0, so just it's neat. And some of them you use at like 1 to 50. I'll explain a little bit about the ratios, because where there's variance with some of them, I went somewhere in the middle. But with all the high concentration ones, like KKD Citrus Magic, Autobright Spritzer, what else? Angelwax Cleanliness, which is designed to be 1 to 3 in a lance, which works out around 2% PIR roughly on my system, which is roughly 1 to 50. Verasol, you can go up to 1 to 200 with that, but I figured with all the extreme concentrate ones, I'd do them all at 1 to 50, because it was all within their working ratios. Autobright Direct Citrus Wash. So these four ones: Verasol, Autobright Direct Citrus Wash, Angelwax Cleanliness, Autosmart Spritzer, and KKD Citrus Magic. I'm quite interested in this result, because these are all like the ones that are claiming, they're effective at lower concentrations, and that is a big thing for me. A big thing. I'm going to talk about this as well. But before we do, let's just have a look at the prices of these. So the average price for 5 litres of product is £32.16 across the whole test. So the Citrus Magic comes in at £33. The Autobright Spritzer comes in at £45. The Valet Pro comes in at £25. Angelwax Cleanliness £27. Wax Planet Roadkill £27. Infinity Citrus Pre-Wash £33. Stana Gloss Forced X. Well, I can only find Forced in 5 litres, and it's 38 quid. So I've translated that to a price just for this average thing of 55, just for when I'm working out the averages. I'll keep an eye on the market to see if the Forced X makes it as a 5 litre one. Otherwise, I'll kind of have to assume. I don't know what I'll do with that, but I'll sit on that for a little bit. Auto Finesse Citrus Power, 35 quid. Shiny Garage, 30 quid. Autobright Direct Citrus Wash, 32. Carchem Citrus Clean, 31. Verasol, 13 quid. That's with delivery as well. You might even be able to find that cheaper, but I think I went to the Verasol website, or whoever makes it, I can't remember. So it says on the label where they sell it from. It was £12.95, I think. So I've gone with 13 quid, but you can get that a bit cheaper. Phenomenal price, that is. I'll just give you some of my thoughts on how it's going at the moment. The Verasol, I had really high hopes for this because it's cheap. It can be used at high concentration. Its suitability and its versatility for detailing, I've given it a 2 out of 10, really. It's so bad. It's a floor cleaner, really, and I think someone discovered you could use it as a wheel cleaner, and then Verasol sort of cottoned on it was being used for that. So put some notes about automotive function that can be used for wheels, bumpers, vinyl, headlinings. So it's a real mixed bag, real mixed bag, and it's a lot of ambiguity there, and only certain bits. So it doesn't say like you could spray it onto car panels, and use it to remove bugs and stuff off car panels, bumpers. It's very vague. So they're not an automotive detailing company, that's why. It's you got to be careful with it. It says not for use on alkali sensitive surfaces, which is good. I mean, the instructions are professional, but just not relevant to detailing so much. So I've marked it low as some of the other ones on versatility. when it was used at, across the board power, it came 6th in the dirt simulator test. Isn't bad, really. Isn't bad. 6th. So it's beaten half the field in how well it cleans off the dirt simulator at the same percentage. At that price, I think that's a good showing. However, at 1 to 50, it came last, which is within its sort of light cleaning, medium cleaning range, you know, because it goes up to 200. So that result was disappointing. And I've got the test panel with that result on it, and you can see it there, 1 to 50. It just didn't affect that thing at all. I'll go through some of these with you, but you can see that one there didn't. That came 11th, and then 10th, 9th, where's 8th? It's all going to be upside down for you, isn't it? 8th, 7th. You know, you get the idea. I'll go through a bit of that with you in a second. So, we've got some more testing to do. I've got to go through and mark the quality of the instructions. That's a versatility marking. I will do that. These things here, this is my ranking. Price is going to be worth 20. Concentration usage, according to the manufacturer, is going to be worth just 10. I was thinking of striking that off completely, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it in there as 10. Because having that versatility there is really important, I think. Having that concentration versatility, at least. What you can use this product on, according to the manufacturer, is really important. And I think a lot of companies have made big mistakes with this. By just, you know, for example, let's pick on one. Infinity Wax Citrus Pre-Wash. It's designed to be a pre-wash. You're really limiting yourself there, and I think it's only giving you instructions. I should be careful about what I say in case I get it wrong. I think it's only giving you instructions because it doesn't use a pump sprayer or trigger bottle to apply the product, so you can't use it in a snow foam lance if you want to follow the manufacturer directions. So that's a big mistake. Well, it's a mistake because a lot of people might want to put this in a snow foam lance, and if Infinity Wax are watching this and thinking, well, yeah, no problem, go for it. You can't have it both ways when I'm testing things. That's the problem. And I'm not just picking on this one. There's a lot that are like that. The Autobright Citrus is like that. The Valet Pro is like that. That's got issues with it. Because you dilute it 1 to 8, spray it on the panels. So that you have to assume, because they haven't even mentioned snow foam lances. And if your product is a pre-wash, foaming citrus pre-wash or citrus pre-wash, you have to be aware of this thing called a snow foam lance, which the vast majority of the detailing market want to use. And you don't even mention snow foam lance or pump sprayer on this, so you're assuming people know that. And again, if you hear me say that and you think, well, you're being an idiot, it's obvious. Lots of the other brands state it and give you dilutions for snow foam lance or give you dilutions for pump sprayer bottles to make it clear. Okay, so that's why I go into all this sort of stuff. And there can be a lot of improvements made on some of these bottles and some of these instructions. They really could. I'm not particularly anally retentive. Yes, and when I buy the products, I can figure it all out for myself. But when I'm testing them, you have to go at it from an I correct myself there. You have to be a little bit anally retentive and look at this. You know, I sort of, I'm going to do a joke. I go to method acting. Anyway, you have to be anally retentive when you're doing this. So I'm going to go through and mark all of those quality of instructions, and there's going to be good difference in marks there. And it's going to be close, this test. And these two things could affect your ability to win or not. And rightly so. But they're not, I haven't weighted them massively. They're only worth 10. So if you could still do okay, but you need to get it right. These dirt simulator tests are both worth 20, and these will probably both be worth, I think, maybe 10 each or maybe 20 each. I'll have a think about that. I don't think these are quite as relevant, so I'll probably go 10 each on these. We'll see. So 6th and 12th for Verasol. That's not enough really to win. That's not enough, you know. I haven't finished the test yet, so you'll get my middle of the test thoughts, and who knows, maybe there's other ones have disasters here and it's possible it could still win, but very rarely does where it scores so badly in 2 critical tests is anything going to win. Although it's going to do well here, but it's going to be put into the mid order somewhere, I think, with this. And rightly so, actually. And I'll talk about why. It's not because it's bad. It's because others have done better. The KKD Citrus was 8th and 8th. So 8th at relative pound for pound and 8 at recommended ratio that you could go up to. Yeah, it can be used at 1 to 25. So it's been consistent. It's not as powerful as some of the other ones. And its normal price is, you know, just a little bit below average. So I can't see the KKD one winning, but I might still buy it every now and then when they discount it, because it's very cheap at 14 quid and it's okay. The Autobright Direct one, the price is fine. It's spot on the market. It's come 7th in the pound for pound cleaning test, which is okay. It's not bad. But at 1 to 50, because it is a high concentration one that can be used up to 1 to 100, it comes second to last. Where is it? Yeah, here. Yeah, it just didn't have any effect at 1 to 50. So it's like, and it comes with a trigger sprayer in the bottle already. So I think a lot of people will be just spraying it on neat because you buy this in Halfords. So it works well relative to others, but it doesn't work well it's up at that extreme end of the concentration. So it's where is it? It's somewhere in the middle, really, in the power. Shiny Garage pre-wash citrus oil TFR, 30 quid. Could be used concentration up to 1 to 20, I think. Their instructions could do with a little bit of tightening up. Versatility low because it's a pre-washed TFR. I want to use bugs, citruses for all sorts of things, not just a pre-washed TFR, but they've got instructions that you can use it in a lance or you can use it in a pump sprayer, so it's a bit more versatile than the ones I've given 2 to. This came first in the pound for pound cleaning test, and it came third when I used it at 1 to 20, where all these ratios are different. So that's a top performer. I'll show you. Where is it? Where is it? There. Shiny Garage. Really, really good. Not first. There's still some bits on the panel, but it's really, really good. You know, just correct me if you think I'm wrong. You can see all the numbers there. These were the best 2. Really good. I'll come through there. So I've given that third. Yeah, I'll show you everything. So this is a strong candidate at the moment. Strong candidate and a front runner. Yeah, it's below average price. Yeah, it's got a lot going for it, this one, actually. It's lost marks there, though. And so they could have been much better with giving you a bit more guideline on how you could use this product differently at different concentrations. Some of the other brands have done that right, and they'll get better marks because of it. The Finesse Citrus Power, 35 quid for 5 litres, so 3 quid over the market price. It's a ready to use. Got it here. This is the only one I haven't had to mix out because you just use it ready. Yeah, so the cool thing about this is they were one of the best on the instructions in terms of giving you some actual guidelines of how you can use this product. And it's just simple stuff that I can't believe is missing from so many of these products. You know, a fast-acting natural cleaning solution used to loosen and remove bugs, great. Traffic film, great. Grease, great. From an array of surfaces around the car. Safe for use on paint, trim, glass, wheels and metal. You know, you can see if some of these other products over there had made it into Halfords, people would look at the labels and they'd be really confused. And the brands don't get it. And I think this brand get that you have to get those basic things right and just tell people who might have not used your product before what you can use it on. And some decent instructions, which I haven't rated yet, but they're there. They're there. So that's good. And some storage things and all that palaver. So they did quite well on that front. When they're all diluted down, so Auto Finesse will think, hang on a minute, our product's designed to be used neat. Well, I know, but I'm doing a test where I want to compare relative performance at the same ratio of all of the products. And, well, why don't you just pour them all on neat then, John? Because they'll all, virtually all of them will remove the dirt simulator. So, and I've always tested at 5% PIR, so it allows me to back test on APCs and snow foam, so we know how relatively powerful these products are compared to other formats, which is quite useful. So we always do this, but we do disclaimer that the results for this aren't a reflection on how this product would normally perform. So it came second to last. You'd think it would come last, really, wouldn't you? Because it's a rut and we're watering it down even more. But so it's not a disaster, I guess. When we used it neat, it only came sixth. So Auto Finesse there, you know, did a good job actually. Sixth. Where's fifth? Fifth is next to it. So you're probably thinking, ooh, that's hard to tell. Just generally, this got a little bit whiter. They're very close, but there's just a little bit more film on this one, in my opinion. So it got sixth. So it's decent when you use it neat, but it's not mega powerful when you use it neat. There are some that were a little bit better than it. So it's not. This was the area where it was always going to do bad. That was the test that was always going to do bad. So if it can go ahead and do well in the rest, it's probably in with a shout of doing reasonably well. But you know, it's going to lose marks here as well, I think, or here in particular. So it's probably not going to win. Stana Gloss Forced X. So this can be used 1-to-1. It's 38 quid. Well, actually, the normal Stana Gloss is 38 quid, I believe. So the translated price, I think, would be about 35 quid. So I'm not sure what to do with that yet when I work out the prices. But effectively, it's probably going to be the second most expensive, really. But I'll have a think about that, or see if I can find out when the Forced X is coming in 5 litres and how much it's actually going to be. That's probably the best way to do it. So it could be used 1-to-1. Versatility. So 3 out of 10, because again, it's a pre-wash, and like there's so many more uses for citrus. And again, if this is on the shelf of Halfords and someone's looking at the bottle, trying to think, what the hell is this stuff? So they're looking at it. It's a citrus pre-cleaner. Dilute it before use, 1-to-1 with water. Okay, good so far. And then they'll read, it's a citrus TFR pre-cleaner for removal of road grime before a contact wash. And then they'll follow the instructions. Rinse it with plain water. Spray onto the target areas. Yeah. Allow product to dwell, yeah. But do not allow it to dry. Then rinse it thoroughly with a pressure washer. Test it on an inconspicuous area. So basically, if you read it, it's like a traffic film remover. And that's what you do. You spray it on before and you wash off your car. What happens if you've got a car that's got mould that you want to get rid of, you know, in the rubbers, and you want to use a product for mould? Could I spray it on like that and not rinse it? I want to agitate it with a brush. You know, I want to use it as a general purpose thing. Well, no, that's not what it says on the directions. And a lot of them are like this. What happens if I want to put it in a snow foam lance and spray it onto my car? No, you can't do that. It says how to use it. So you're very limited with what you can do on the instructions. Can I clean my wheels with it? You know, well, no, you can spray it onto your wheels and then rinse it off. But it's lost all the versatility. And some of those have got that. It's not a 2 though. Why isn't it a 2? Don't know. I'll have to think about that. Right, so on to the Infinity Wax Citrus Pre-Wash. 33 quid, so it's bang on average price. Can be used at a decent concentration, up to 1 to 25. Again, bad on the instructions, so I've already talked about that, haven't I? Did well, actually, on the relative cleaning. Came 5th when they're all the same percentages, all at 5% PIR. And came 5th when I used it at 1 to 10, when we were all at sort of workable ratios within the manufacturer, somewhere in the manufacturer regions. So that's not a bad showing, actually. Only 4 products kind of usurped it there on that. That's reasonably consistent. Yeah, so I was reasonably impressed with this. You can see it there. Yeah, done a good job at 1 to 10. Did a good job at 5% PIR. The problem when it's bang average on price, the instructions aren't great, and it's ranking 5th out of 12 on its cleaning, when it's looking, again, we can't predict. We've got more stuff to do, but it's looking like it's going to come in above average at the moment. So yeah, that's the Infinity Citrus one. Wax Planet Roadkill, 27 quid, which is very good actually, isn't it? It's one of the cheaper ones. I will rank these and figure out pricing, because that's very important, that price thing. It is, because these guys all want to make money. You know, we understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. And the margins, you know, are quite tight. There's big variance. You're getting down there. We know they can sell it. Someone can sell it for 13 quid and still make money for a very highly concentrated one. So it can be done. I know people are going to say, well, it's an industrial one. It's been sold up and down the country, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because people can still go and buy this. So you've got to put yourself in the mindset of your customer, not your brand. But I appreciate margins have got to be made. And when you get dropped down to 27, your margins are probably a little bit lower, aren't they? What's that? Concentration up to 1 to 8. Versatility 4. So not good there. Could be better on the instructions. I think it's not a 3 or a 2, because I think there's a little bit more going on here. What is it? Oh yeah, okay. Highly concentrated bug remover, so it's not just a pre-wash. It's very effective and safe on painted surface. This citrus-based formulation degreases and cleans in one application to effectively remove bugs, traffic film, or other contamination from body vehicle work. So I can use it a bit generally, you know, I can use it as a cleaner rather than just a TFR. I could use it to remove bugs. It does say vehicle bodywork only. So what, you know, can I not use it on the wheels then? Because again, if you use it on another surface and you go back to the company and say it's damaged it, they can go to these instructions and say, well, this is only for the vehicle bodywork. If you sprayed it on a sensitive surface like a rag top or something and you had bad results, well, you've misused it according to the instructions. But the bad side of that is that limits you, doesn't it? That limits you a little bit. Again, you might think I'm being anal, but that's fine. Roadkill can also be used safely as a citrus pre-wash from a hand sprayer or pump sprayer. Well, that usurps what I've just said. It contradicts it, doesn't it? Because you can struggle to pre-wash your car and not get it on sensitive surfaces beyond the bodywork. Directions for use, yeah, etc. So it's slightly better. It's slightly better, but it's no cigar. It's no cigar. No cigar. Yeah. Okay. This surprised me a little bit. Second in the pound for pound cleaning when it was only a 1 to 8 concentration. It came second. So when they're all lined up at 5% PIR, this product rocked in second. Yeah, correct. So it's minimum is 1 to 8 and go up to 1 to 1, I think. Yeah, heavy soiling 1 to 1. Yeah, so, but at 5% PIR, it came second. So it's the second most pound for pound powerful. At 1 to 4, which is somewhere in the middle, it came second. Look at that. So it did a really good job. I just thought this one next to it was just slightly better, but really good. Really, so that's a front runner at the moment. This is a front runner because of price and because of performance, but it's going to lose a little bit of marking there, but it's still in with a shout, this one. This is in with a shout. Next one, Angelwax Cleanliness. Price, very good. Concentration, 1 to 5, but that's, here's the thing, it can only be used in a snow foam lance if you follow the instructions. Again, which is just a shame, really, for me. I talk about this, I think I did an individual review on this stuff. Yeah, so there's a bit of versatility here because it's been formulated to remove bugs, road grime, bird lime, contamination, and so it's sounding great. And this label's got a good, you know, generally well written with a bit more information than most of the other ones. Our chemists have designed this water-based cleaner to be used through the Angelwax Blizzard foaming lance system in conjunction with a pressure washer. So this one has been designed to be used through a snow foam lance. And the directions are all given to you in snow foam lance ratios. Dilution rates here, 1 to 1. That's in your lance. So you're going to plough through this stuff in your lance. If you use it 1 to 5, that's going to be quite a low PIR ratio. So it has to be quite highly concentrated for it to be usable in a lance. But you've got to plough through it. Yeah. So its versatility is compromised if you follow the instructions, because I can't just bust them out into a bottle and spray it on some bugs and, you know, rinse off. I have to put it in a snow foam lance if I'm being anal, and I'm being anal. So yeah, it was a 3 there. Okay, it came 12th. It came last when they were all at 5% PIR. Okay, so, and it came 10th when I used it in a lance at 1 to 3, which in my system works out roughly about 2% PIR, which is roughly 1 to 50, which is a similar concentration that I tested the other ones at in this particular test. So it's no surprise that it didn't win this particular test, because it came last in the pound for pound one. Where is it? Where is it? Angelwax, there. It's not the worst, but it just didn't really affect the dirt simulator. Yeah, just, I think that patch there was when I was just drying it off to write the thing on, but it just didn't affect the dirt simulator. And to affect the dirt simulator, you have to be able to degrease, and a good citrus should be a good degreaser, and the citrus component should, and it just didn't degrease. So yeah, so that's probably out of the running, really, which is a shame. I've used it on my car, you know, done a video on it, and it did an okay job of taking off road film, but it wasn't like amazing. So I think it's a milder product. Maybe it needs a bit more dwell. Maybe you need to play around with it a bit more. I don't know, but definitely milder. That's, you know, that's what that testing tells me anyway. So that's that one. Valet Pro Citrus pre-wash, 25 quid, really strong price actually, for, yeah, strong price, cheapest one after the Verasol. I like that price. Only can be used up to 1 to 8, or must be used at 1 to 8, I should say. The instructions are really need improving on these Valet Pro products, in my opinion. And this product came 10th when they were all mixed down at 5%, and 9th when it was at 1 to 8. So you can see it at 1 to 8. Where is it there? You know, that film is still on there, but it has taken more off. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so you can see the film is still on there, but it's just a little bit better than the Angelwax. Not much in it, but a little bit. This is that channel down there that's starting to work. It's starting to get there. If I put it on 1 to 5, it'd probably start shifting there. But yeah, it's milder as well. It's definitely milder. I thought this one might have a bit more kick because it's really rich. It's really rich when you use it at 1 to 8. You spray it and you work at the brush and you get a nice foam. It's got a lovely smell to it. It's very heavily scented, and it's not a limonene smell. It's a scented orange smell that is amazing. And this is a good product. It is. I've used it. I've used it before. It's popular. It's been around for ages. It was like one of the first. It was one of the first sort of ones to make citruses popular. It smells amazing. But it's mild. The price is good. But yeah, these instructions, man. So you need to talk about, I've mentioned this before, you need to talk about whether it's snow foam lance or trigger sprayer, and you need to talk about other things you can do with it. It's just very, I mean, you can have very simple. You can say, well, it's a Valet Pro, it's for professionals, they know what to do. If you want to sell it to the mass market, I think you've got to put more information on your labellings. Okay. So that's this one. It's done all right. It's done really well there, so it's got to a good start. Done okay there, not so good there. Probably not going to do great there. And then, yeah, so it's probably, I reckon it, you know, it will do. The Valet Pro APC was the same. It was milder. Picked up loads of marks when we did the safety tests because it was fine. But just a little bit milder. Autosmart Spritzer. So this is a product I rate really highly. I've used it. Always thought it was good. The problem why you've perhaps never seen me buying it is because of the price. Its normal bulk price is 45 quid. Probably too much for me. There's like little thresholds where you just sort of like won't spend it, and like paying 45 quid is too much. I know they do deals, and you know, but I can't factor that in when I'm doing these tests. So we have to just look at the prices, look at the market average. So I think that's the most expensive, depending on what happens with the Stana-Gloss Forced, you know, and the Forced X 5 litre price, but it's most expensive. So that's cost it 20 marks. It can be used, according to the label, up to 250 to 1, okay, which is the most dilutable out of all of them. But this is where I was really interested, because you could, without being facetious, you could put that on the label of any of them, couldn't you? You can use this up to 250 to 1 and it'll be a very mild cleaner, you know. So you could all do that. The versatility, again, this is a pre-wash. It didn't get a 2, it got a 3, because they discuss about you can use it in a pump sprayer or a snow foam lance. So I've got a bit of versatility there. But it's essentially a pre-wash, and it doesn't talk about its function on the instructions other than beyond it just being a pre-wash. At 5% across the board, it came 4th, which is really good. Really good result, actually. And I've got all the footage of it, you know. This is the next test, so it's been blatted, reapplied and redone. But I'll include all the footage of that in the main video. In the second test at 1 to 50, which should be a good ratio for this, actually, if it can go all the way to 1 to 1, I think its maximum is 1 to 25. That's this strong one. So 1 to 50, it should be pokey, should be good. Pokey. And it was okay, actually, to be fair. No, those results aren't bad. We've ranked it 7th because there's still a film on there. But it's working. It's getting there. Just wasn't as good as those two. Definitely wasn't as good as that one. Definitely not as good as that one on this test. Yeah, not just behind the Auto Finesse, which is neat. You can probably see it, can't you? You can see a bit more filmy. So 7th is okay, but I was hoping that was going to be like a 1, 2 or a 3 at 1 to 50, because I always thought it was very powerful, you know. So yeah, there we go with that one. That's going to cost it, I think. That's going to be good. That's going to cost it a little bit. Who knows about that? I'm sure it's safe. But the next one is the KKD Citrus Magic. Costs 33 quid, which is bang on market average. You can use it up to 1 to 100. This is the only product that I've given 10 marks for in the versatility out of 10. And it's not because it's got some massive label full of instructions. It's just because they've told me all the information I need to know. So it's a citrus cleaner and a pre-wash. I can use it for bug splatter removal. I can use it to kill mold. It's highly concentrated. And if I go to the instructions, I know I can dilute it up to 1 to 100. Don't go beyond that. So that's quite simple. Can be applied as a pre-wash through a pump sprayer. Great. Okay, nice to say trigger sprayer as well, but yeah, I would use it as a pre-wash through a pump sprayer. Or maybe trigger sprayer. Should knock a mark off, actually. As a pre-wash through a snow foam lance, great, because I might want to do that. And it even gives me a lance ratio there, 1 to 10 into the lance, great. And that's going to be quite a low PIR at 1 to 10 in the lance. That's going to be sub 1%. Okay, so that's quite a... Most times, in my experience, when you use them at 1 to 10 in a lance, they're not that great. They're too weak. Allow to dwell and rinse thoroughly. Great, understand instructions. For mould, a strong mix can be applied. Also suitable for use as an APC for interior use and also for degreasing jobs. Just that last sentence, the amount of products that should have that in there and haven't, because it gives me carte blanche to use this how I want to use a citrus, which is for general cleaning. Why would you limit yourself and just tell your customers that you must use this as a pre-wash, you must put it in a snow foam lance and use it this way? Why would you do that? So that's the only one that I can actually use without breaking the instructions how I want to use it. I think this one did well in that, and the Auto Finesse one did well as well. But that was the one where there was just zero ambiguity as far as I was concerned. So average price, good concentration, can use it exactly how I want to. Quality of instructions, it's probably going to be one of the better ones. It came third in the 5%, so pound for pound. The only ones that out-cleaned it, relative concentration, was the Shiny Garage and the Wax Planet. I'm losing my voice. And here's where it's also really good. At 1 to 50, which is somewhere in its mid-range, but I wanted to get it the same as these other high concentrates. 1 to 50 is about 2% PIR. That is nothing, okay? That is... So in this bottle, if this was full of 1 litre of water, that would be 20 millilitres of product. I wouldn't expect much to be able to work on my dirt simulator at that sort of ratio. And it stripped it with... I'm not really too worried about all of that. That's just a little bit of heavy dirt where it hasn't wetted it. You know, there's some little patches. It wasn't the best, but that was used at 1 to 1 to get that clean. That was used at 1 to 4 to get that clean. That was used at 1 to 50 to get that clean. And at 1 to 50, where's the bottle gone? Well, at 1 to 50, so whatever product this was, when I've got 20 mil of it mixed in with 980 mil of water, roughly, to get 1 to 50, maths is probably all well over the place there, it's actually out-cleaned the one that's ready to go. And that's not having a pop at the Auto Finesse, but it's just saying that I can achieve the same results with 20 mil of the product. So out of all of the ones where I use them at 1 to 50, the Verasol, the Autobright Direct, the Angelwax, the Auto Glands, that one actually got close to matching the performance of the top ones, you know, that are used at much higher ratios. So this one's in with a shout at the moment. That's in with a shout of winning. That's in with a shout of winning. And Planet Roadkill is probably in a shout with winning. What are the outside ones that might have a vague chance of winning if they do really well? Possibly the Infinity Wax would have to do something miraculous. Or the other ones would have to be bad on the these tests, so you know they'd have to flunk this test, and Infinity Wax storms it. Still on a gloss. It's at a number 1, so it's going to be somewhere, but I think the price and the concentration are going to take it out of the running. So really, at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be either Wax Planet, Crystal Clean Detail, or Shiny Garage. Yeah, I mean, this Shiny Garage stuff is potent, very strong. Number 1 at pound for pound is important. I need to use it a little bit more. I need to use it and play around with it a little bit more, but it's very strong, and it's very, very strong. Yeah, the instructions are lousy, or could be better. I should put. First of all, they're peeled away under here, which always upsets me. It always upsets me, but at least you can use it in a lance or a pre-wash, which is good. And they give you a general dilution ratio, which is quite handy. Yeah, probably not too bad actually, the instructions, but they're not. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Availability might be a bit of a problem for this. Of 5 litres, because a litre of this, just plough through it. You know, these sorts of chemicals, you just want to buy 5 litres of them, really, guys. Stick them in your cupboard, and then you get the value for money. You know, just that's a top tip. Just goes without saying, really. Just buy 5 litres of a good one. So yeah, that's where I am with this, guys. Very dangerous to kind of speculate on which ones are going to win and which ones are going to lose, but I'm midway through, and that's all that's on my head. And these videos are the brain dump. So there's 3 front runners. Before I finish this video as well, I do need to test a few, you know, outside of the garage, and just like play around with them a little bit, because that's important. Yeah, especially with that Shiny Garage one, make sure it doesn't chalk up at all. I might test it on these alloys, because their satin alloys are quite good. So I'll get to maybe 5% PIR, which is somewhere in its middle ratio. Spray it on, let it dwell, rinse it off. Make sure it doesn't chalk up those alloys, because I did think it does have a bit of caustic soda in it, I think, which is a negative for me. So yeah, very interesting, guys. Take care. Let me know your thoughts. See you soon on the Forensics Detailing Chanel.